speak about helping police enforce positive data and you actually being enforcers of peace and helping these people get the help they need. What do you think that looks like?
Through settings just like this, having that open and honest collaboration, us being able to share the data that we have, and you being able to share that intricate data that you have. Obviously, we get various data sources from the mayor's office, from council, and we act upon that as well. That's a whole different set of facts other than the crime statistics that we deal with. When you marry the two, that's when there's true collaboration. That's where we start forging different paths and saying, okay, we're gonna have to take a different approach with certain things. But I tell you, the true individuals that have the true power is the community members, you all. You know, you guys can say and do and act where obviously because of our position, we cannot and probably will not. However, we can have that open and honest dialogue to say, hey, look folks, you guys know good and darn well exactly what's going on in your respective neighborhoods. When it's time to vote, make a well-informed vote. When it's time to ask certain questions, make sure that your questions are right on point. When it's time to go to that city hall or that town hall meeting and you have an opportunity to speak, then you speak. That resonates. We could say it all day long, but the true power are our bosses, which is you all. Yes, sir.
Yeah, as we all know, the police department have your short-handed and all kind of problem. So I suggest, I think last month I suggest to maybe the community have to patrolling and handle, protect the visitor, which is some of the organization already discussed. And the more they discuss, the more problem they pop up. Some legal stuff, some funding is okay. We might come up with the funding. So the volunteer will patrol maybe like 24/7 the area and event. Number one priority is hate. Number two is the theft or stealing or breaking car.
Right.
But my question to you is, do you as the police department, do you support this kind of activity that let the community patrol the area? I know it's some political and
Okay.
but how, if you support it, how can it get,
Right. Okay. I will answer that this way. By patrolling, I've seen different communities, different storefronts hire like armed security for certain things. That's a totally separate endeavor than the Seattle Police Department. We can't say whether we're for or against. That's based upon the own community members and the business directors, whatever they see fit to do. That's great. We support anything that's for the good of the community and the business, period. For the lay or road community member to go out and do community patrols, that comes with a certain caution, because there's so many different issues that are out there to address. I don't want to see any of our people, our community people, especially putting themselves in harm's way inadvertently. So within sight of certain parameters, we have set up like community patrols and things of that nature and help along with that. But that does come with a strong component of SPD patrolling as well, making sure that it's safe to do so. Some environments that type of patrolling wouldn't be beneficial. And this type of open collaboration and partnership with us to say, okay, that would probably be a good idea to do at a certain point in time. Right now, there's a lot of things that are out there happening, and for your earlier assertion of you're trying to get or hire security, that's a step. That is obviously an option, and that's great. Our stance is that we're going to try to give you whatever we can as far as a law enforcement agency, so we can carry out the day-to-day duties of keeping a lot of the issues down, especially around here. And as we alluded to earlier, it's very hard to do because we only have so much of a resource to deal with. But I will say this: if I have 1,000, if I have 100, we will give you that 100 or whatever we can bring to bear for the betterment of any community. In particular, what we're talking about now is ID. And I know Captain Matt Allen, he's working very, very hard with a lot of principals in the ID section to try to give them exactly what they need to keep their areas safe. He's the precinct commander of the West Precinct, which is basically over this area. So he and I will be talking. I'm going to give him a call right after this meeting, let him know exactly what has been discussed. Exactly, that'll give him a barometer of exactly what he can bring to bear to assist us in giving you here in the ID the type of law enforcement endeavor that you guys need. I mean, it's vitally important that we should have a strong, robust presence, period. Sometimes presence does a lot of things. But with that presence, sometimes you have to dig right down deep and take really serious enforcement action. It's kind of like you teach one in front of 1,000, you teach 1,000. Once they see that, a lot of the issues seem to dissipate. That's first and foremost. And then there's collaboration with the business owners and keeping their own areas of interest clear and safe as well. We want to be a conduit for that as well.
So, do neighborhood watch programs, like where you have regular neighborhood and community meetings?
Yes.
How effective are those, and the signage?
That is very effective. We have crime prevention coordinators that can set up neighborhood watches, neighborhood business watches. In fact, I was the precinct commander for the Southwest Precinct for 5 years. And we did set up a business block watch, so to speak. And it was very productive. We had all of the business sign on to that. And basically, they were their own brothers and sisters keepers. They looked out for each other. And it was a strong collaborative endeavor for the Seattle Police Department. And that can be done through your crime prevention coordinator. I believe it's Barb Biondo. She's fantastic. She'd be happy to help set that up.
Question. What do you need from us? What can we do to show you the support that you have?
This,
Yeah.
this to the 100th power.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly what you're doing, and like I alluded to before, when you have an opportunity to speak out and say something, please do so. And there's strength in the voices. Okay, I believe there's the food on the table. I don't want to